Hello, everybody. Welcome to the midweek reset here at the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers. I'm Sandy, and I'm joined here today with Anna, who is our 900-hour yoga therapist, trauma informed, and she is one of our high priestesses here. And we are so blessed to have this offering every single week so that we can drop in and we can reset our nervous systems, which is one of my primary goals in my life and focus of the last couple of years is to kind of navigate how I can be a more peaceful person in this crazy world. So thank you for joining us. I wanted to just bring up a couple of exciting things that we have coming up. This Friday at Panacea Wellness from 3 to 6 p.m. you can find me and the Bliss Bus along with Caitlin, and we are going to be talking about Green Network providers. We're going to be giving out samples. It's just a small business appreciation pop-up being hosted by this cannabis dispensary. And I'm so excited for them including us so that we can, share the education about plant medicine, which is my passion, as you all know. And then on Friday night at 7 o'clock, you can join us here at 63 Washington Street for Sarah's Full Moon Circle. Big theme of just releasing what is no longer serving us and how we can really harness the forward momentum of a full moon to manifest all of the good things, right? On Saturday, we have DJ Steve Miller coming back to the altar to raise the vibration and rock the house. So come down that day for just some good old-fashioned fun. And yeah, that's like the bulletin. That's like what's going on the calendar for the next few days. So we have an exciting week ahead, and I hope that you guys can join us for some of those activities. Oh, in a week from Friday, Matt is going to be starting something up at 7:30, and it's going to be called the Midweek Vibe Check.
I love that.
Not to step on your toes.
Wednesday.
What's that?
Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday. Yeah, a week from today. So a week from today, yes, it's going to be the Midweek Vibe Check, and that's going to involve a sound healing, and it's going to be limited to 7 people. So again, this is a way of us like really trying to end the stigma associated with energy medicine, alternative healing. It's not just woo-woo. Energy, vibration, and frequency matters. Okay? And then we're gonna help you carry that like throughout your rest of your life. Right?
Yeah, well, I think what's beautiful about that is that when we have these emotions or that lowers our vibration, grief, anger, just those low feeling, heavy feelings, these kind of healing practices, energetic healing practices, are really healing, are good for the body to release those emotions, sound healing, movement of the body. So I think it's a beautiful thing to offer. And to know that when we come into these states and are vibing low, or these vibrations, that's when disease comes in. So you want to always uplift, change the vibe, shift in these practices. I'm so excited for that.
I know, it's a new offering. So yeah, so what do you have to share with us today about yoga, Anna?
Gosh. Well, something that's been coming up, and we don't really talk about it here much. The title of this program is, Slow Flow with Anna, and it is a slow flow, but what is a slow flow? What is a flow? And I've also been getting the question, I teach Hatha Yoga, which is, I've gotten a lot of questions of what is Hatha Yoga? You've heard of Vinyasa, you've heard of Ashtanga, maybe not, that one, Iyengar. There's all these different branches of yoga. Hatha Yoga is yoga. And there's a few things. So when we think of Hatha is basically the basis of all yoga. So when it came here to the modern world from India to the West, it came in as Hatha, and then it evolved into different things: Iyengar, Ashtanga, Vinyasa. So Vinyasa is the Sanskrit word for flow. So those Vinyasa classes are a union of the breath and the movement, so inhaling, exhaling. So when we do a slow flow, it's us doing Hatha Yoga at a slower pace, but Hatha is slow, let's say, because in Hatha you do hold the posture's a little longer. So it allows you to really feel the postures and come into your breath and learn how to use your breath, which is part of teaching pranayama. breathing practices, and meditation, right? So those three things combined and unifying the mind, body, and spirit. So this is like a hatha slow flow. It is a hatha slow flow, slow flow. It could also be a slow vinyasa, or it could be a fast vinyasa. So for what I always recommend is when you're coming into yoga, even for the first time as a beginner, hatha is a really good option because it really shows you more about the alignment. You get to learn about your body and how it aligns in each posture, and it's takes you in preparation for other classes that you can try. You know, once you kind of know how your body aligns, you move a little smoother, a little more knowingly about your body when you come into these faster practices. So, so that's what I wanted to talk about.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
So I'm actually reading the book, it's called Breathe, and the chapter that I'm on right now also talks about slow breath. So like you talked about matching the breath with the movements, it's actually optimum to take your breaths for about 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, which equates to about 5.5 breaths per minute. So even by slowing our breath down, the breath becomes medicine. It actually can lower your blood pressure, it increases your white blood cell count, it does all these amazing things for the immune system and the body to help you heal just by breathing. So then when you add the movement in with the breath, then you're just having even more of a release, right?
Yeah, and that's the beauty of hatha, is that it brings in asana, pranayama, and those are, breathing practices within the hatha practice. Like, for example, in hatha, I like to use ocean's breath. Ocean's breath is a constriction of the throat, and it slows down your breath. So sometimes people, like, in a practice of breathing, when they go a little longer, like 5 seconds or 5 to 6 seconds, depending on what's going on with them, it's a little hard to go there. So just learning how to find your flow of your breath, right, with these practices, because going into 5-second holding, I love those practices because they're really deep breaths, and this practice teaches you how to lead into those kind of meditations, which are really deep using those long breaths, and even locking the body, the energy locks that come into with breath work in yoga. So slow flow, we take nice amount of breaths with each posture, which makes it a nice relaxing practice, right, and movement. And then we do things like balance, or a little bit of raising of the heart rate, just like chair pose or balancing stick pose, and then come back into a cooling down and having your shavasana. So lots of different yogas to choose from, and they're all wonderful to try. I started with hot yoga, Vipa yoga, which I feel gave me my technical foundation, just with the repetition of that kind of practice. But hatha yoga, that's what it is. It's what we're doing. It's what we practice. It's what we all practice in yoga. And just know that when you see vinyasa, don't be scared. A flow, just know that they can be gentle or they can be challenging or faster. But never fear. Come to hatha yoga, and that's really caters to beginners and to people who want to slow down. And you know how much I love slowing down.
Well, that's like your primary function here is to slow me down. I'm gonna go grab my mat. Thank you, Anna.
Yeah, so talk about self-care, right? Slowing us down. So let's take a nice seat. All right, my friends. We're going to find our sweet seat and sit up nice and tall. And if you come to meet here and meet me, we can talk more yoga. And to know that actually we have, in yoga, there are 8 limbs or 8 paths of yoga, and we touch a lot on 3 paths, which is asana is one path, which is movement, pranayama is another path of movement, and of the eightfold path. And then meditation is part of it. There's a Sanskrit word that takes us into dhyana, which is the shavasana, which goes into samadhi, another path. So there's more paths in between that equal 8 paths, and that's essentially yoga. And so yoga, what we're doing here essentially is 1 to 2 paths with movement and breath, right? But yoga goes so much deeper than just asana, just postures, and that's why this practice is so beautiful. It moves beyond our body, in and through the body. All right, so sitting up nice and tall, inviting you to soften your gaze or close your eyes. Resting the hands on your lap. And then feeling the length in the spine as you draw the shoulders towards the earth. Lengthen through the crown. And just finding the ebb and flow of your breath in and out the nose. Bringing awareness to your sits bones and maybe rocking side to side just to feel them. And if you don't feel them, you can actually raise the flesh of the buttocks or the upper thigh to sit and find those bone points. And if at any point you're uncomfortable in your seat, feel free to shift and move around and find your sweet feet that feels comfortable to you. So notice your breath as you breathe in and Sandy makes a beautiful point with the breath, because let's take the awareness to the breath. And as you breathe in, notice how many seconds you actually count as you take that breath in. Maybe it's 4, maybe it is 6. Maybe it's 5. And then when you get to your exhale, notice how many seconds it takes for the breath to leave your body, completely out of the body. And then repeating that and just noticing, counting the seconds of the breath coming in, exhaling out, and noticing how long it takes for the breath to leave the body. And isn't it beautiful that in this practice, as we're doing this breath and noticing the time connected to the breath, and calming the nervous system, calming the mind, so if your breath is even, let's say it is 5 seconds and 5 seconds, 4 and 4, or longer, it becomes the shape of a box. You can take it that way. So that's also an exercise in box breath with the equal amount of seconds. Maybe noticing now what has shifted for you. Maybe being in awe because you never realized how long a breath took. Breath is our life force. It is how we exist. It is essential. I love to see the breath as an anchor. It's what grounds you in. So at any time you feel the breath becomes altered or your emotions have shifted in a direction that feels uncomfortable, anchoring to your breath becomes essential to shift. And we have the power to do that. So remembering that we can use this for our self-care practice, slowing us down, resetting our bodies. Essentially, that's what we are doing. On your next breath, let's begin to move the body around the pelvic floor, circle and circle, using the breath. Maybe noticing what shifts as you move with the breath in and out. Notice if it's slowing down or if you're going a little faster. Take it in the opposite direction. And then when you're ready, coming back to center, continue to soften your gaze, close your eyes, and just notice. Come into your intention. And as you anchor into your breath, anchor in with your intention, and use this practice as a way of gathering that energy to lead your intention. Let's go our eyes open when you're ready. Release the hands and allow the hands to come up. On the inhale and exhale, flip the palms, press everything away. Let's do that again. Inhaling, exhaling, grounding that left hand, right arm up and over. Nice deep breath in as you exhale, switch sides. Switch sides, inhale, reach over with that right hand. This time, flip the palm and gently press. Inhale, switch sides. And then flip the palm and press. Press the palm away. And then lower that arm down. If your seat is uncomfortable, you can switch legs or extend your legs to roll the shoulders. And roll in the opposite direction. And then from here, let's gently shift back and forth. And then gently move our legs. And then take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, arms are going to come forward. And walk your hands to lift your body up so you can come to your tabletop. Allow the hands to be nice and wide. Shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, and then take a peek at your feet. Take a look between the legs to see if they're turned in or turned out, and adjust to have them line up with your knees. Nice deep breath in. Let's drop the belly, tilt the tail, and take the gaze up, going into cow pose. Exhale to the chest, rounding in, tucking the tail, and tucking. Inhale, drop the belly, take the gaze to the sky. Exhale, round. So continue here. Inhaling on the extension of the spine. Exhaling through the flexion of the spine, rounding in. Find the ebb and flow of your breath with the movement of your spine. And I love the visualization of your spine like a wave. If you want to feel what that feels like, you can begin to roll the spine. Maybe taking the shoulders and bringing the shoulders into it. And visualizing the breath going in a circular way. And just noticing, maybe coming back to center, how that feels for you at this moment. Let's take the hips around in a circle, give some movement to the hips. Snap, crackle, pop. Maybe take the hips back deeply towards the heels. Maybe shifting forward if that feels good. Finding the opposite direction. Just finding your own movement. And then let's take our knees wide to the edge of the mat and take the hips back for a wide-legged child's pose. Let the toes touch, hip shift back towards the heels, extend the arms forward, allow the heart to drop, forehead drops to the mat. If the hips are tight and lifted, you can always support your forehead with a block, or you can stack two hands just to take that rest and ground the third eye. Breathe into the hips, breathe into the back body, the back of the spine. Feel the rib cage expand as you inhale, breathing into the back and exhaling. Allowing the body to relax. If it feels good to exhale through the mouth, you can exhale through the mouth. Notice what it feels like when your heart starts to move towards the earth. And then if you want to shift your hips back and forth, you can. Just a little movement to the hips. Nice deep breath in, gently lift the body, take that right arm underneath the left, and then take your head down, temple down. And gazing to the left underneath the left armpit. And just breathing into the shoulder. If you want to feel a stretch in the front left shoulder, you can bring that left arm behind you and take a bind if you want to feel what that feels like. Otherwise, you can leave your arm right where it is. That really opens up the front left shoulder. A tight or sore shoulder isn't going to like that too much. So just ease into that movement. Inhale, release if you've taken your arm behind you. Rotate the shoulder, bring that arm back. And then gently rise to bring that right arm, back. Extend forward. Take your child pose. And on the next breath, left arm weaves underneath the right. And take that shoulder stretch, bringing the head down. Left temple comes down. Breathing into that left shoulder. And still feeling the breath come into the back body. If you want to bring that right arm up behind you, you can take that back. You can bring the arm to the hollow of the back, or you can take a bind or reaching towards the thigh. Inhale, let's bring that right arm back. If you've taken that bind, reaching forward, gently lifting yourself back up. Left arm reaches high. Actually, just bring it back. And come back into child's pose. Walk the hands over to the right side. Left hand on top of the right. If that feels good, to stretch that left side body. Next breath, let's walk the hands back to center and then walk them all the way over to the left side. Maybe that right hand comes onto the left palm, the top of the left hand. Breathing into that right side body. One more breath here. And then walk the hands back to center. Get a nice little stretch there as you extend the arms forward again. And then gently walk those hands back towards your knees. Bring the knees closer together, hip distance apart. And find your tabletop. So let's come into puppy pose. Extend the arms forward and shift the hips back. Forehead doesn't have to touch the mat at all. Sink the heart down. You can even curl the toes under to get a nice stretch in the soles of the feet. You can tent the fingers and reach those wrists forward. So the upper body doesn't have to make contact with the mat. Just allow the upper body to feel heavy. And then shift those hips back at the same time. Gently release and then bring those elbows underneath the shoulders. Palms nice and wide, gripping the mat. And let's curl the toes under. We're going to go into a little dolphin. Lift the knees. So you can stay right here and lift and hover the knees. Or you can lift the hips high and extend. And if you want to shift your arms, you can to get your shoulders more comfortable. Pulling the navel in, drawing that breath into the hips. Lift the heels high, bend the knees, take the gaze back to the top of the mat. Walk your hands underneath the shoulders and lift into a down dog. Walk your dog, lifting one heel after the other. Press the heart towards the thighs. And then find your stillness, drawing the heels towards the mat. They don't have to touch. Bring the awareness to those inner elbows and rotate them inward to face one another. Soft bend in the elbows, but gently pressing those hips back. Lift the heels, bend the knees, shift the gaze between the hands, and let's walk our feet to meet our hands. Come to the top of the mat, forward fold. Let it go. Take a sway of the body. You can take a bind, elbow to elbow, bend the knees, or release the arms and shoulders, release the neck. And allow the arms to dangle. If your hands touch the mat and you want to take a deeper stretch, you can step on your toes on your fingers and take that stretch. And as you come into this deeper stretch, if you're taking this option, a nice deep breath in as you pull the navel in and gently pull your body towards your thighs. I'm going to release my fingers. When you're ready, inhaling, coming to a half lift. And let's stay here for a few breaths. Hands on the shins. And take a nice deep breath in to lengthen through the crown. And draw the shoulders away from the ears. Pull the navel in. So you feel that stretch all the way down to the base of the spine. You feel those shoulders draw back, away from the ears. Feel those shoulder blades slide. Really feels differently when you hold. Nice deep breath in, forward fold. Let's do that again. Come back to your half lift, hands on the shins. Draw another deep breath in and let's rise. Come all the way back up, gently rising, slowly rising. Palms touch, palms come to heart. Wow. Nice deep breath in and out. And then just notice what has shifted for you. So in standing mountain, we are engaging the legs, drawing up on those quads. As you tone the legs, feel that instep lift. Feel the glutes slightly shift down. Let's pull the navel in and up. And again, draw those shoulder blades down and back. Open up the heart. Take a moment here to feel the palms press together. Inhale, palms rise. Follow the palms up and back. And then from here, keep the palms together, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale, hands on your shins for your flat back. Exhale, plant the palms on your mat, step back with both feet. Take plank or modified plank. So in modified plank or in plank, just bringing the awareness to the palms of the hands and gently bringing those hands underneath the shoulders. If you're taking full plank, press through the heels, pull the navel in. Now, whether you're in plank or modified plank, we're going to shift to the right side. So in plank, those heels are going to shift to the right. And then our body is going to shift to the right if you're supported. And then take that left leg to the side and then gently come to a side plank, opening up on the left side body. From here, a nice deep breath in. Take that rotation with the hand. So the palm is going to begin to draw forward, and you're going to make a circle coming around and back up, around and back up, around and back up, and then take it 3 times in the opposite direction. And let that arm flow. Let it be gentle. One more. And then lower that arm down. Come back to your plank pose. Nice deep breath in. And gently shift to the other side. So that right leg, if you're taking supported plank, will come to the side. And adjust yourself to feel comfortable in this position. And inhale, right arm's going to rise high. Nice deep breath in. Let's begin to rotate the shoulder forward and back. Arm comes forward and back. One more time. And take it into the opposite direction. And all the way around. And it's okay to wobble. Last one here, and then let's gently bring that arm back. Come back to your plank pose. Just adjusting yourself there and dropping your knees down. Shift the hips back towards the heels. Inhale, shift forward, come to an up dog. Option here to curl the toes under and lift the knees, or you can stay nice and grounded. Nice deep breath. And then gaze forward. We're going to come into our downward facing dog. So we're going to curl the toes under, lift the knees, and the gaze is going to gently come between the ankles. Inhale the heels high, bend the knees, let the knees hover. Push back into downward facing dog and then bring that right leg underneath the body, across the body. Okay, if you want to advance it, you can bring that left arm up and back. Okay, no requirement. Okay, you can stay right where you are or take that opening of the body. Gently come back down. Shift that right leg back to your down dog. Press into your down dog. And then left leg moves across underneath the body. And then we allow our body to open up. Right arm is going to lift high. Pull the navel in. Last breath, and then gently float back to your down dog. Inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, switch the gaze between the hands, walk the feet to meet the hands, come back to your forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins for your half lift. And let's root to rise. Come all the way back up. Palms touch, palms come to heart. Let's take a nice side body stretch. Let's interlace the fingers, those 3 fingers, pointer finger releases. Bring the arms up, biceps parallel to the ears just as much as possible or feels comfortable. Try and see if you can bring those palms together to touch. Inhale, lengthen through the fingertips and take a little wiggle here to come out of your hips. And then come back to center, tone the legs, a nice deep breath in as you lengthen through the fingertips. And then let's take an arch over to the left side. Nice deep breaths. Normal breathing, gently bringing that left side shoulder forward. Just slightly, and then gently come back to center. Inhale, lengthen again, and arch over to the right side. Feel that stretch in the right side body, and the left side body, and then gently bring that right shoulder forward. Inhale, come back to center, and release the arms, float them back down, roll the shoulders. All right, at the top of the mat, nice deep breath in, feet parallel to each other, arms come up, parallel to the ears. Let's sit in our chair. First set of chair, shift the weight to the back of the heels, ground the toes, tuck the tail, pull the navel in, lift the chest, and sit. Palms face each other. Nice deep breaths. And we'll get a little uncomfortable here. Anchor to your breath. All right, let's take those palms together, bring them to heart. And then let's take that right elbow towards the left knee. Does not have to hook, but you can take that hook. If you take the hook, take that left shoulder back. Open up the heart. And arms spread out like wings. Inhale, palms come back to center, and switch sides. Maybe take that hook, but if you're not quite reaching, it's okay just to stay in that direction. Bring that right shoulder back, and spread your wings, arms come out, reaching high, reaching low. Inhale, palms come together, come back to center, and forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, coming to your half lift, and exhale, plant those palms, step back with both feet. Let's drop the knees, shift the hips back, extend the arms. Inhale, shift forward, and let's come onto our bellies. Okay, let's bring the forearms in front of our bodies. We're going to take Sphinx pose, okay? So forearms are going to come in front of us. Palms are going to be face down, okay? Let's extend our bodies on our mats. So our upper body is lifted, feet are flat. Take a nice deep breath in and lead with the heart. Take the heart forward, shoulders back, and lift the heart. Pressing all 10 toes into the mat. Hips press in. And breathe. So we're strengthening the spine with this posture. And then let's lower all the way down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Tuck the elbows close to the body. A nice deep breath in as you press all 10 toes into the mat. Heart lifts up. Take the gaze forward, chin parallel to the floor, and then take the gaze up to the sky without lifting the chin. Nice deep breath in as you gently lift again. And exhale, lower. And then release, shift the hips back and forth. You can release the arms if that feels good, or bring them by your side and take that left cheek to the mat. All right, inhale, palms come back underneath the shoulders. Chin to the mat, tuck the elbows, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lift the heart. Press all 10 toes in without clenching the buttocks. Nice deep breath in as maybe you rise higher. And then lower all the way down. Curl the toes under, gently lifting all the way back to tabletop. And then shift the hips back. Stretching the arms forward. And then come back to your table. Extend that left leg out. Parallel the foot to the mat. And from here, gently shifting those hips back, taking that abductor stretch. Pull the navel in. And you can flow up and down. Nice deep breaths as you shift forward. And exhale as you shift back. Inhale, shifting forward. Exhale, shifting back. A few more of those. Don't they feel good? Oh. And then come back to center, gently walking those hands back towards you to lift your body up. Let's inhale the arms up. Exhale, lower. Rest that left arm on the left leg and inhale that right arm over the right ear. Inhale, float that arm down. Exhale, reach over. Inhale, float the arm down. And inhale, reach over. And then gently lower that arm back down. Hands come back to support your table. Left leg comes back. Extend that right leg out. Parallel the foot to the mat. Nice deep breath in. Exhale. Shift the hips back. So once you feel you want to take that movement, inhaling forward. Exhaling, shifting back. Or option to just hold. If you want to hold where you want to feel that stretch. Just really see what it feels like to ground that right foot and see if that makes a difference in your stretch. Inhaling, shifting forward. Exhaling, drawing those hips back. Just a couple more breaths. And then walk the hands towards you, lifting your body. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, float them down. Rest that right arm on the leg. Inhale that left arm up and over. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left arm reaches. And exhale, lower. Bring both arms up. And then gently float the arms down. Bring those hands in front of you. And right leg comes back to the mat. Shifting back and forth. And maybe circles. All right, let's extend that left leg back, bend the knee, flex the foot, and rotate the hip. So if this is something that's bothering your knees, you can take it in a down dog, and same thing, right? So, or cushioning your knees, then take it in the opposite direction. And then let's extend back and come back to your table or downward facing dog. Left leg extends, bend the knee, rotate the hip. Again, if the knees are bothering you, take that downward dog and same thing, rotating the hip. And then extend that leg long, point the toes down, and the leg comes back. Shift the hips back and forth. And then gently walk your hands back to the knees. Inhale, arms rise. Lift the hips high, exhale lower. Snap, crinkle, pop. Inhale, arms high. Exhale lower. And from here, let's shift the hips to one side and swing the legs around. Shift your bottom to the middle of the mat. And let's take a twist. Extend that left leg. Right leg comes over. All right, from here, option to squeeze that knee in and gently bring that left shoulder back. And you can support the twist by bringing that left arm behind you. Flex that left foot and notice what you feel there when you do that. And then we're going to switch it. Okay, we're going to gently unwind. That left arm is going to come across the body. That elbow is going to come across. And then that right arm is going to support your twist. Take the twist to the right side. Gaze over the shoulder. So that arm can come down, or up, or you can squeeze in. And gently unwind. Switch sides. Alright, flex that right foot. Squeeze that knee in. Take that left arm behind you to support your back. You want to hug it in. So wrap that right arm around the knee. There you go. Taking a nice squeeze. And then Jen this way. The other way. No, you had it right.
Oh.
Yep. Just wrap your arm around the knee. There you go. And squeeze your knee into your body. And then take the gaze over your left shoulder. So you want to feel like you're squeezing in and twisting at the same time. Then slowly unwind. Actually, let's squeeze into the left side and take that twist. I took it to the wrong side, but that's okay. Now we're going to switch and bring that right elbow in front of that left knee. Left arm comes behind this. So twisting the opposite way. Yep. That was me. Take the gaze over the left shoulder. I just love squeezing the knee. All right, let's slowly unwind and uncross the legs. Shift your bottom down. And let's take a balancing pose. So we're going to reach forward to the front of the pelvic bones and begin to tap. So leaning back and reaching forward at the same time. Tap, tap, tap. When you're ready, you can keep tapping, or you can bring those knees parallel to the mat. Or if you want to take that full extension. And then gently lowering back down. And then lowering down to the mat using your core, ground your feet. Head comes down last. All right, here we go with the knee squeezes to chest. Both knees to chest. Drop side to side. Inhale, extend the arms over the head, extend the legs, full body stretch. Let's take a banana stretch. Walk the legs to the right side of the body, and then arms are going to follow to the right side, and allow your body to make a crescent shape. And then walk your feet back to center, and then to the left. Everything to the left. Arms to the left, legs to the left. Beautiful banana shape. Let's come back to center. And full body stretch. Bring both knees in again for a tight squeeze. Tuck the chin. And then see how tight you can squeeze in, maybe grabbing elbow to elbow, tucking the chin, shoulders draw towards the mat. Release. Find your happy baby, maybe taking the peace fingers to your toes or reaching for the outsides and rocking side to side. So just drawing those knees with your arms out and finding a little rocking, or you can stay still and take this posture. Bring the knees back to center, extend the heels to the sky, and then arms can either come over the head or you can cactus or take them by your side. Bend the knees and lower the legs. Take the feet to the width of the mat. Extend the arms to a T and windshield wiper back and forth. Drop them over to the right side. Take the gaze to the left fingertips. Maybe that right ankle comes to the top of the left thigh. And allow gravity to gently help you twist. Release. Opposite side. Windshield back and forth, and then drop them to the left side. Face goes to the right. And then gently come back to center. If you want to take a full body stretch, you can. And then bring your arms by your side. Find your Shavasana. You can take Shavasana in a Supine Baddha Konasana or butterfly pose with the legs. Or you can take the legs up the wall, the legs to the sky if you want to take Shavasana that way. Or grounding into your mat. Allowing the body to feel heavy. Allowing your eyes to soften or let them feel like they're sinking into their sockets. Notice what it feels like to maybe tuck the shoulders underneath the body, releasing the jaw, releasing the brows. Noticing what happens maybe if you take the palms up to the sky and just rotating the arm. Just noticing how that broadens the collarbone. Maybe creating more space to breathe. Let's gently begin to bring movement back into the body. Soft, gentle movements to wake the body up and come back into the space. When you're ready, rolling over to one side. And you're welcome to either meet me in seated to close class or stay in your Shavasana for as long as you like. And then gently pressing up if you're ready. Hands at the heart center in prayer position or Anjali Mudra. Inviting you to seal class with me by bringing our prayer hands to our third eye as a reminder to think kind thoughts, to our lips to speak kind words, and back down to our hearts as a reminder to live life in high vibrations of love, joy, inner strength, courage, and grace. From my heart to yours. Thank you so much for this Wednesday's reset.